Common Core math is in the United States literally ruined math for a whole generation and beyond, because what they did, right? Contra. By the way, Hannah, I hope you're okay factoring. I'm not dealing with it yet. I just want to take care of all that. Right? That's tolerable. Yeah, Mask of Rune was horrendous, but Contra, they didn't just ruin math for a whole generation, because what they did, they made more than one generation, really 2-3 generations illiterate in the language of mathematics. So as soon as you do that, that generation, for the most part, not all of them, but on average, illiterate in the language of mathematics, and in Canada as well, right? Illiterate in the language of mathematics. And those generations grow up and have children of their own. Now they don't know math, right? So when their kids come home from school with math questions, that generation doesn't know mathematics. So it's a perpetual thing. It's a very, we're not supposed to talk about politics on these math streams, but it's very typical colonial imperialist type of maneuver, right? Because when they take over imperial nations, when they take over a land somewhere, the first thing you do, you take out a certain tradition for 2 to 3 generations, and then future generations are also lost. We can see that happening with the indigenous population in Canada and the United States, right? Destroyed for a number of generations and left to rot, right? Now they had to build themselves back up, and they're doing a fantastic job doing it, but it takes a tremendous amount of effort to do it, right? So Common Core math was exactly the strategy used by imperialist nations to take over lands, right? I know it's politics, I apologize, but it is about education, right? Yeah, but that's just a part of the system Chicho was talking about. Major underfunding of public education. Common Core is just a symptom. Yeah. What? Common Core is actually good though. Not that I've seen. It might be now, but when I went to middle school 8 years ago, I felt it was not a good system. I've had encounters with kids who have gone through Common Core, and brutal. I've never seen a good argument against it. It was a money pit. I looked at how much money was wasted for this whole process. It's centralization of education, and that's a whole discussion on its own. The textbooks that they sell are just pure garbage that they put together. It's basically monopolies given to certain institutions to create textbooks to provide to Common Core, which is just garbage, right? If you've never heard a good argument against it, you've never talked to anyone that understood it. Okay, big brain. Most kids have trouble with math. Instruction is hard. Not necessarily. When you say most kids have trouble with math, which kids are we talking about? Are we talking about the kids in Canada and United States, or are we talking about kids in Russia, South Korea, Africa, France, UK, South America, Bolivia, Brazil, Venezuela? Kids where? The one thing you have to appreciate is when people say, oh, kids are having a hard time with math, if you look at the statistics, oh, it's kids in Canada and the United States that are having a hard time with math, the ones I've looked at. But when I interact with kids from different parts of the world, they don't have a problem with math. They love math. They're pretty good at math, right? So it's not the kids, it's the system.